Alright, so we're going to be reviewing my own game on exactly how we're going to be fatiguing dashes from now on. So let's get straight into it. Off the bat, I think I want the Dyro and I put him first. Obviously, this dash is unsuspecting that I'm about to be fatiguing his ass. So obviously, they have a real nice start here with the Teklo Pounder off of the bat along with a load. So they've got 2 pounders to start with on turn 0. Very strong for them. My turn, I'm just focusing on pitching all my reds to the bottom. So getting this blazing to the bottom. This is a big key thing on how we're actually going to be able to end this game when we fatigue them is you want to prefer to pitch all your reds to the bottom and just keep them for once they're actually fatigued and they're down to like 3 blues in hand. So all I'm doing, pitching away that red snapback as well. I am going to shoot this flare because the opponent is still unsuspecting that I am trying to fatigue him. So we're going to get a card and it's going to help us be able to block out their double pounder turn. On top of that, going to play out this E-pot real quick because if you already noticed or read the description below, I'm running 1 red unmovable. So getting an E-pot out is pretty key to use the E-pot and the tunic to be able to play the unmovable on the opponent's max V turn, which I believe we should see in this game. But not bad, we've got 2 red cards on the bottom of our deck, we've got an Oasis in our arsenal, E-pot ready for the unmovables, and all we got to do is start blocking now. So remember that the dashes damage always comes pretty front loaded thanks to the Teklo Pounders, so happy to just block out with most of your hand to start with. Blocking out 8 with 3 cards, then we can follow up on high speed, blocking out 4 with the Fate Foreseen. Just checking if they're going to have another 0, nope, so they're just going to be able to leak 2 damage this turn cycle, so they just used 2 attacks, 3 attacks, and boosted 2 more cards, so they've already lost 5 cards and they've drawn another 4, so already 9 cards through their deck. And it's turn 3, so that's what I mean why this is so consistent, especially when they're playing Teklo Pounder, which forces them to boost. So another card boosted there, happily just block out 9. Same with the Harpoon coming in for 4, happily just block 3 on that, only taking 1, just making sure to get the maximum amount of block value from our cards. Now obviously here it's going to hurt a little bit as they follow up with a Throttle for 6 without boost, so they didn't even have to lose the extra card. But it's very normal that you're going to be leaking on double pounder turns. Single pounder, not so much. Maybe it would leak only 3 instead of 6. But double pounder turns, you're going to leak, but that's fine. You still have 20 life to work with, or that they have to work through before they boost out their entire deck. So here, obviously, just going to use the tunic counter efficiently on the Oasis as soon as I get it, using the sink to cover up that whole 8, and now the pounders are gone. So here, as you can see, I'm blocking with my blue cards first as well. Just like I said before, trying to keep our damage count with our reds and our yellows at the bottom of our deck for once we've actually fatigued them so we can actually kill them. So here, just going to use the lessons to shoot the spindle. If they take it, happy to opt everything to the bottom that isn't a react card, just looking for all our reacts. And also you just get the perfect benefit like that where you can set up a tone blue lesson, a tone blue wildfire, sorry, and then pass it over, drawing into the react. Here I am just going to save the react, happy to just leak 1 damage each time on all of these 0 to 60s, and just arsenal the sink waiting for something a little bit more high value like a combustible or something like that. So happy to leak a couple times there. The opponent even activates chest here, so they've milled over 5 cards this turn cycle, and then as you can see they have the max V. So I'm going to point out something real quick. This is like a very major thing that I see other people fail to do when they're trying to replicate the same game plan, is they would snap block the 4 on this max V, but it's very important that you just take the 4, or take the 10, sorry, so take the 10 down to 9. You're still going to be able to get this 4 block value on a later creature, but you'll actually be able to get way more value than just 4 blocks. So if, like I said before, if they swing with a combustible and we block 4 on it, and you're blocking that on hit, you're actually blocking 7, and then you can top that off that if we draw into an E-pot or maybe a tome, a 2 block, and then we also use the effective sync to cycle these into a 3 block, you're essentially blocking an extra 10 on top of that, extra 3, sorry, up to 10 value from your sync. So this is a very key thing. You're fine with just taking 9. Be content with taking damage because they're not going to be able to finish you anyway. I do want to pause it one more time as well to point out that they're down to 24 cards in deck. So that's just how fast they boost. They're down to 1/3 of their deck left and it's turn 5. But carry on. arsenaling that D-React. So obviously right here you even see an opportunity to sink away this Toma Fiendo if need be. Depends on what the opponent's going to be playing here, but yeah, like always, just happy to block out the front-loaded damage with their BIOS update. They've boosted another card. They've activated Foundry card again, so there are 2 more cards gone. Here, it looks like I am going to use the sink to filter that. Yep, so we just gained 5 value out of that because we turned a 2 block into a 3 block. Here, just going to use the 3 block. Just like before, going to keep the Fate and save it in the arsenal. This one's a little bit worse than the sink, obviously, but we're just happy to get the 3 block value out of our cards like that. And then here you see perfect, exactly what I just explained before. So we've got combustible coming in for 4. We get to cover it with 1 card, so that's blocking 7 and change a 0 block into a 3 block. So we just block 10 with a sink below. And these are the small incremental values that's going to be able to push us over the edge to be able to forcefully fatigue these dashes. So make sure you keep those in mind. And yeah, just same thing. Going to use Fate here, bottoming anything that's not a React card. They're down to 10 cards in deck. They're even going to shoot the pistol at us. No, they're not. So 10 cards in deck. We're looking really good in this spot. Oh, they are going to shoot us. And then just going to block here. So once again, I'm not going to play the lessons off of the Tunic, just in case I draw the Immovable or an Oasis. So just pitch the Crucible. We don't even want it in our arsenal right now, because if we draw a Toma Fiendo or any D-Reacts, we'd prefer to put those in there without having to use any other cards and keep them. So get out of the way, make sure we got enough threat density in the bottom of our deck, and yeah, as you can see, hopefully you noticed that I am blocking with all my blues throughout the entire game first, keeping the reds and yellows. If you're able to keep any of the reds and yellows, most often you can't, but once in a couple turns you will be able to keep 1 card, and you prefer that to be the red or yellow, pitch at the Crucible, keep that threat density high. So, and there you go, and the opponent is fatigued. So now that was like part 1 of how the game plan plays out, is just getting the maximum amount of value from all of our cards. Obviously you've seen that I didn't even do the Immovable thing this specific game, and I'm still like plenty of health. I'm 26 cards in deck, a lot of threat density left in the deck, and now all the dash can do is shoot for 2 every turn, Tectoplasma. And so the big thing is, when I was first trying to do this plan, I thought I had to pitch stack for this moment, but once I actually got to this moment, I realized that you can just play this as slow as you want. So all they can do every single turn is shoot for 2. So happy to just block, develop an E-pot, and then arsenal the blazing. And so like you can play it this slow that I'm not even going to shoot combo here, because obviously they've still got AB3 with the helmet and the legs. They've also obviously also got 2 resources floating with 2 more blues in hand. So they've got 8 resources all up. I'm not too sure if this is going to kill, especially because we're going to have to blind flip off the top if we want to go for the kill. Blind flip off the top, do Wildfire, snapback. Hopefully it's not our Immovable or Oasis left in the deck, and then do the blazing at the end. There's just no need to risk the whole game on this, because it's just that locked that we're going to win. So happy to just block here, and I'm just going to chip them down nice and slowly. I know there should be 2 more Wildfires in my deck, so happy to just shoot that to chip. Shoot a snapback here as well. If they give us the blue, then now we have a real opportunity to kill them. So unfortunate, it was a blue flare on top, so we probably could have killed, but just under that was the Oasis, as predicted. Just going to use it here, play nice and slow, like I said before. No rush. I think I am setting up a little bit of a pitch stack while I'm doing this. Just getting the blazing out of the way. I'm going to arsenal this Toma Fiendo, and then I'm probably going to use that to try and break open a window for me to combo. So here, there's that Immovable. Looks like it was like the 58th card of my deck, but that's alright. And then I think that is the blazing and snapback that we pitched away at the start of the game. Yeah, it is, because then there was 2 blues. So very nice for us. We're going to gain a lot of life from Toma Fiendo, so now we don't even need to block from the pistols. Just going to shoot them a couple times, try and make a window for us to combo them. They give us the window, so Arsenal is blazing. If we draw into the wildfire, which we should, yep. So draw into the wildfire, and I believe the top card was a wildfire. And then it should have been a lessons, and then that's just the game. So as you can see, you can kind of like completely control them during the end phase of this game. You don't actually have to pitch stack into them as long as you fatigue them and they run out of cards. And we played correctly and pitched our red cards to Crucible and as the cards that we keep over instead of our blues for the last card. Then yeah, you can just set up a third cycle pitch stack and murder them like that. You can literally just do anything you want to them. You just overpower them. You're like Mike Tyson versus a little elementary school kid. So yeah, hopefully that showed you guys exactly how viable this is to fatigue dash from now on. And yeah, it only costs 3 deck slots, so I think it's very worth it. But I'm outie.